Hello, gamers. Hello, noobs. Welcome to first game of day 5. While all teams are more or less equal in points, I am here with an MVP candidate who has won every single game so far. Strong player who has won a tournament. He has played in every but the second. Strong player on all roles, and his head is a bread. Let's welcome Vice Captain of Team 6, Crouton.
Hey, that's me, Crouton. Hey, thanks for having me, Pat.
Great having you, and this is a regular game. And we have players who have played some games, but I feel like this is a second game for Killer.
We had a lot of pre-game chat about turning this into a bullet game, so I think we're seeing some fast picks based on that.
Oh, you are correct. Yeah, they did say Bullet, and what's funny is that Baby said, I don't mind Bullet, while Baby is known for taking a lot of time.
Any interesting picks in this M1 jumping out to you?
Hmm.
I'll tell you,
1.3.
Killer
1.3 is
Killer
strange.
makes an on pick, yeah, and then Meeman makes an on pick, and I would have thought Illumi would off pick the two of them. I think that's a pretty free pick there to pick both Killer and Meeman and reject.
You might be thinking that unpicking Hammer means pretty much nothing, but unpicking someone is forcing a team. So Obey
Yeah,
Mr. Walrus will never pick Niemann. Anyway, because he will rather pick Zack on track. But there's a
yeah,
chance he can pick Killer. Maybe that was the reason for 1.4. I'm just curious about 1.3. This is what stands out to me the most.
yeah. I agree. I think that anti 1.3 is a team that should be seen in Mission 3.
I don't
I'd
know,
probably still pick
maybe
Zach here.
there's so many 1.3s I can see, like off picking Killer and Illumi, off picking Zack and Illumi even.
Yeah.
And Killer gets picked, so Zack isn't getting picked. I wonder if Illumi just wanted to force Zack on crack by saying don't pick me, man, and this didn't work
Well,
out, or he wanted
no,
this
he
exactly.
given him the option not to pick Zach. If he wanted Zach pick, he wouldn't have picked 1.4. I think picking Meme and Killer is a super free pick, and then Zach gets picked for sure. So I think if Obey is Merlin, or sorry, if Illumi is Merlin,
Ah,
I
yeah,
would
this is a very good point. So there's no chat. This is good. So someone said good signal. 1.4. Because
yeah.
please don't shoot. Merlin has padded the meme and he said good signal. Yes.
I mean, the only team anyone really wants to see right now after those M1s is anti-Zach Meme.
Well, and Baby is not doing a bullet game. This is his first pick, and he is taking time, just like he always does.
Yeah, not a bullet game indeed.
Mm. And from his POV, there should be no problem with left hand side and killer. 1.1 to Raz, 1.2 on picks hammer, 1.3 on picks coast pipe because bad hammer seats.
Yeah, it's actually the only team left with good picks where Obey is res. So if Obey Mr. Walrus is res, then it's bad picks or it's left hand side killer.
Yeah, I mean, this should just be a very quick pick. Just adding to one.
It is pretty crazy that this pick takes so long. I mean, I get it when you don't have an M1, you want your 2.1 to be meaningful, but this is an easy pick.
Exactly. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Wait a second. This is so strange.
I mean, it could be top, right? Oh, no, I guess 1.1. I didn't see. This is
Oh,
1.1. She's picking here, 1.1.
this pick is oh well. Spire PR. That could be bottom, I guess even. Or maybe zigzag and 1.4 was just like first of all I'm off picking to Merlins because fuck it. I mean 2.1 is so strange. Like,
It is very strange.
what is? I don't understand at all. Such a PR claim.
Yeah, well, it does VT Zach a bit and kind of says like, hey, maybe Zach is
Like,
not a PR.
accuses not only M1 plus one, but also M1's picks.
Yeah,
St- Crazy strong pick.
yeah, absolutely. Just
Oh,
claims bad M1s, claims
well,
Zach
maybe this
VT.
is three VTs or like two Merlins, and he's Percival. But then why isn't Miman on? Is it because No, I have no clue.
Maybe, yeah, maybe Baby is worried about M2 clean.
But then he has so many better accusers. Like
It's
anything with
true.
Miman, or even picking Illumi, Zack, and himself, or like
Yeah,
oh, no, I can't see but maybe okay. I just got like maybe it's because Zack was unpicked and Killer was also unpicked by 1.5.
right.
So this is probably the reasoning behind that. If ever Res, no one is accusing besides Baby. What is his co-spy doing? So his co-spy shouldn't it could only be Miman, I think. Because
Yeah,
then I think his co-spy would accuse as well.
yeah. I
So
don't think this is clean. We'll see now.
if it's cleaned, only add is Zach.
Ooh, honestly, Baby could be throwing. That's the team that we were looking at from the beginning. I mean, like, I think if
Way.
Illumi is Merlin, I think Illumi Merlin on this team makes a lot of sense with that 1.4. That 1.4 is hard for me to explain, but on this team, it makes
Well, we
sense.
found two PRs. Well, I guess the third PR just emerged. I
I
mean,
mean,
this
Zach is
3.1.
absolutely right. It's a crazy
3.1
pick.
is crazy. What is going on? 2.1, 3.1.
Yep, and 1.1.
And Baby's holding.
Crucial
Baby's
picks.
holding vote.
Yeah, that's surprising.
Oh,
I kind of think Baby's Raz, man.
I guess this floated. I guess this floated or is clean. I mean, M2 floated or this is clean. But then why
I could
isn't
be wrong, but
if Baby is just imagine that it's left hand side and Killer and two spies see Baby accuse. Why isn't Zack accusing and why isn't Neiman accusing?
right. Well, maybe they just assume that
I don't buy that.
at least if one of them would accuse, then
Yeah,
it would make a
exactly.
case the other one has to get on.
Exactly. So I don't buy this team. I just fully don't buy this team. I could even buy like right hand side and Illumi and Obey is adding co-spy.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that. I
So
don't know though. I don't think Baby is picking 2.1 there if Walrus is Coastway.
so strange. And Baby is holding vote. I
For
have
so
no
long.
idea why.
Such a long vote hold.
Yes, unfortunately, this is how he always played. He takes a lot of time. But here, I mean, here, what is he thinking about? Do I approve or reject?
Ooh.
I
Okay,
think he
here's
should
some chat from
always
Illumi.
approve.
Not after Illumi says I apped and I regret it.
Yeah, now you would not approve. I wanted to do Pingus. Killer just saying that there are two ads.
Yeah. I mean, I agree.
But
No,
it's
I
not
don't think
Baby.
bottom is clean. You think bottom's clean?
Not really, with 1.4.
Yeah. And 1.3.
That's why I was thinking it's the only ad is Zack. Because Baby could be a spy accusing, and Miman doesn't accuse because there's just no point in accusing.
I don't know what Meme's doing. I think if I was Rez in Meme's shoes, I would be shading him too. I'd be like, I want to see teams with this person.
Oh, and he says it's obviously
There's
not
something.
bottom.
Yeah. Yeah, that's nice. That's exactly what I'd say if I were Rez.
We play off 8 minutes and seven of them were held by Baby. Oh dear. This is such a rest chat. Like, I think I would be sheeped by this chat.
I'd be annoyed if I was Spy at Baby Holding forever too, so.
It would appear he only had 2.5. Well, yes, that's the case. Oh dear, baby's gonna hold the vote. This is
I mean, this is absurd. There has to be a rule against this. Like, mission 3, no fails. You have a fail on the board, and you need like 6 minutes of voting time.
yeah. And you know what would be the most BM if he's actually a spy and people would arrest him for the stalling.
Yeah, well,
A little bit unfair. Well, I just wouldn't like this to happen because it would turn the game into it wouldn't be as good as otherwise.
there's not a lot of like spies that are willing to like completely be shameful and or have no shame and out res as if they were res. Take forever on stalls and
Mm,
like spam chat. Like, there's a couple spies that will do that and win games, but a lot of times, like at the end of the game when
wait.
Merlin and is yelling at you, you're like, oh man, this guy's res.
Oh, so there's some interesting chat between Zach and Meeman. So Zach says that he's the only ad, and
Mm-hmm.
then he says that Danis won't be necessary this game. And Meeman, after he said that bottom is obviously not clean, he
Right.
says it will, as in the Danis will be necessary this game. I wouldn't be opposed to it. I really don't think it's left hand side on killer. Like, doesn't make much sense that. Hmm. Zigzag.
And here's the pick.
The Merlin on that would be killer, or Walrus, or Baby. No, not Baby. Well, maybe Baby, because he accuses him 1+1.
I don't really think this is team. I feel like if they're spy mates, I don't think 1.4 should get picked for sure. I mean, I guess if they have M2 hammer, it's okay. But
I was thinking about right hand side and Baby. I think
uh,
I
I
mentioned right
mean,
hand side and Illumi.
I'd like to see baby dead on that for sure if it is right hand side baby. Can't lie to you. Unless it's like killer.
Could be Meeman, or yeah, even killer. I think that has some frames. I mean, 1.4 is so strange. But so is 1.3, to be honest. What's Pingus? So people are talking about
Danny's and
Pingus.
Pingus.
Like, what is this, a lesson game?
I don't know.
Tournament game where people explain the tactics. Guys, I guess Obi made it clear I'm not really an attempt to either. Is MT officially dead? But then Obi says that he is not opposed to Danis. Yes?
I don't know what to do here. It does feel like there's 0 ads to M2. Did he? No, he didn't. I don't know. Maybe just Danny's and assume there's a trolling res out
So
there
who floats?
or something wrong or something.
I think Illumi is the one floating on them too.
I think killer's PR res.
What now? I'm very happy that Baby is the one who's holding 4.5. Because it seemed to me like he's not only very PR seeming, but also he was picked on 3.1, so he was involved to this game.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think I like that.
What is Baby gonna pick? So Baby preferably picks Killer, and
I don't think baby's gonna get a pick.
well, people were claiming that. So Meeman says it's not bottom. Zach is saying it's not zigzag now.
Yeah, it's true. So the only one that could take hammer by off apping is Meeman. And if he's saying it's not bottom, then maybe when they pick mission 2, he will not app.
But M2 has no ads. Killer picks it anyway. So maybe it is actually bottom with 1.4 out of this planet. It
Yeah.
would be like Killer Merlin and Meeman. 1.3, so strange. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. Maybe it is zigzag, like anti-baby and Meeman. And Zack is Percival
You
to
said
baby and
anti-baby
killer.
then?
Yeah, anti-baby Meeman. And Zack is Percival to killer and baby doing 1.1 and 3.3.
Yeah.
But then both Obey Mr. Warless seems PR for 3.1 and Illumi for 1.4. So Zack to killer is
I don't know.
looking
I
pretty
feel like
likely.
3.1, if you didn't really like notice 2.1, then 3.1 is a good pick. But
Yes. And people are repicking. I
what
really
do you
hope we
think?
go
Is
to
Meme
crit.
apping?
I hope we go to crit.
I think Meme as a spy should app this if it's dirty.
Hmm. Well,
Jackhammer?
the hmm. Is it clean with baby as an ad? Or is it zigzag? Or is it dirty? Well, I do think that killer is rest.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm willing to make that bet yet.
I was thinking that killer is probably not rejecting 3.1 as a spine. That floated.
Yeah, that is true.
I think
I
he
think I like
wouldn't be
Baby
as
more.
shapeless. I don't know how
No,
I feel about Oh Baby Hammer. Wait a second,
well,
this is just clear hinting that he wants zigzag to Zack. He's literally spying baby. It does seem like zigzag, and Zack sounds very, very rest.
I mean, if Walrus is res and this is dirty, this is bad.
It should be zigzag. But why is 3.1 not zigzag?
Who's Merlin? Killer?
Merlin is Illumi maybe even.
No, Illumi's not picking 1.4.
Oh
I
right,
mean,
I don't think so. Okay, and we go into crit or assassination. Seems like a crit.
yeah, it's um, I think
Yeah, seems like it's crit because people are not chatting.
yeah, crit.
This will be the first game where we would get to M5 crit. Okay.
Oh,
Yep.
hey, you called it. You called that team well. I was like, man, I think it's a really good call because that team makes a lot of sense. Good job, Pat.
Well, this is the reason why Meeman doesn't accuse, I think.
All right, so what are you thinking? I mean, I could definitely be wrong about Illumi, but I, as Merlin, would not pick that because I think if I pick anything else, then Zach is getting picked and M2 is clean, you know?
What is 3.1? So
Yeah,
I was thinking about Illumi to obey and Meeman doing
no way.
1.4. It would make sense now because Meeman is actually Morgana. So now I want to think about 3.3, and I do think it's possibly the R pick. Because why are you picking Baby over Killer after 2.1?
Yeah, he's definitely not Merlin. Merlin could never pick 3.1.
3.1 is funny. Yeah, I mean, well, well, it is what it is. Okay, I'll buy this is Maryland. Killer,
My gut
Illumi,
instinct
or
is
Zach
definitely Killer.
even. I would buy Zach's on Maryland though. He was chatting like M2 is,
Yeah,
excuse
yeah,
me.
he wanted to be on
Yeah,
M2 so bad.
he said that, what did he say? Look, use M1, it would appear I'm the only ad, so that won't be necessary. I guess Obey made it clear I'm not really an atom to either, so... And then he picks 3.3. And he picks Obey. Oh, what? I mean, 3.3, it has to be PR. I see, like,
Yeah,
no
no,
logic there.
I do think Zach is PR, but
Is he Percival to Zakon, to Illumi?
yeah. Let me see.
Maybe
Illumi 3.1. It's so weird how Illumi apps 3.1 and then says this should be rejected, and then says I apped though, and I already regret it.
after the stall, yeah,
3.1.
there was a lot of stall, and I
Baby's out of
remember him saying that, yes.
That's interesting, chat. I mean, obviously, we can rule out Obey because Merlin can't pick 3.1.
You know, part of me wants to think that it is Obey Crazy Merlin, thinking that it will get rejected, so he asks him anyway. But it's definitely
Hmm,
not a shot I would make.
man, I don't know. If I was Percy, I'd be so thrown off by that. I'd be like, all right, M2 is dirty. We don't need to see it again. Let's pick other teams.
Maybe Obey is Percival, and he thinks that
Yeah.
1.3 is to Spice.
Well, Meeman is Morgana, so that would be Percival to Illumi or Killer.
Hmm. So, Killer's POV is what? He was off-picked with a spy, and his like very, very normal off-pick is Illumi and Meeman on 1.2. Or Meeman and Obey Mr. Warlords. But probably Illumi and Meeman is the normal 1.2 after 1.1.
Yeah.
But he unpicks
I
Obey
don't, I don't
Mr.
mind
Warlords.
1.2. I think 1.2 is pretty standard.
Hmm. Could it be VT? Killer being VT. So 3.2 is what? It's anti-Zac and Illumi. And Killer is approving. Meeman is rejecting. And Obey Mr. Walrus is rejecting. Well, that would make sense with Obey to Killer. But if it's Obey to Meeman, he wouldn't approve because of 1.3. Obey to Killer.
I don't know. I've just had this gut read on Killer Merlin based on his chat, but I'm very tired and low brain power, so I'm not
Hmm.
making my best shot.
Killer. Not true. Zac based on apps, it still can be Danis or Pingus. Maybe he.
I know. I was reading that same chat. Like,
Oh, I thought we will get to 3.5 to be honest. I thought we will get to 3.5 to be honest. After
like
he
he didn't
picked.
think that 3.3
Yeah.
was getting half. Yeah. It wasn't his pick. He didn't get a pick.
Yeah.
He picked 4.1.
But
He was
he
supposed to
would be
pick
3.
3.4.
Yeah, exactly. He would be 3.4. I
He was
thought
left
we
off
will
3.4.
get to 3.5 to be honest. Oh my,
And then
I
he
am
would get his
shaped.
mission 4 hammer then if they got to 3.5.
I'm gonna GM Illumi, I think.
It's fair.
What do you think?
I feel like I'm not being as unbiased about this shot as I could be. I'm just think about it from a logical point of view, but it's tough. I mean, like, I totally see the Illumi line, but I just want to find a good combo.
Could be Obey Mr. Walrus to Illumi, maybe.
I'm so hung up on that 1.4. It drives me crazy because I feel like you could pick anything. You can pick 2 res and then still be good if you like set up the right pick, you know?
Yeah.
No matter what you pick, Zach on crack is getting picked, but then you off pick the person on pick Zach and Hammer, and then you're like, oh shoot, maybe he's gonna pick Baby, you know?
I mean, 1.4 is something. But I do think that that line of chat that I was saying at start, that he, by this, is trying to force Zach on crack because of 1.3 and telling that Meeman is not on 1.5. I can imagine him thinking that.
Ugh, I just feel like Zach is Merlin, bro. What Zach is like, all right, well, and maybe Danny's an M4.
Wait,
Like,
Zach
well,
Merlin.
just pick me. Just add me to M2, and then if it fails, just pick M2 again on M4. Like, what?
But then
What kind
Obey
of
wouldn't be
player is saying that?
Percival. Obey would never be Percival then.
No, of course not. Yeah, Obe's not
Illumi?
first.
It could be Illumi.
Be
Illumi to
Lumi,
Zach. Would he opt
could be Killer.
3.1? No, it would be Killer. It would be Killer to Zach only, I think.
Yeah, but and Zach is like trying to get onto M2, and Killer's like, well, it could be anything, Zach. I don't know.
But then Killer is approving 3.2, and why is he approving Meeman?
That could be Movement's team.
Really? Wait. Yes, it could be. You're right. With 1.3. Hmm.
Kind of feel like Zach is new Percy here, or
I also
Merlin.
think that 3.3 passing is a misplay from Spice. I think Meeman should reject 3.4, 3.3 to see Killer's pick. You know, it would be just more information for the shot. And Killer is heavily scrutinized by us right now.
All right, I'm changing my guess. I think it's Zach.
Really, it's Killer to Zach.
I mean, like, I'm not diving into every possible line, but from the combos I've analyzed, that's my favorite. I find the
Killer
least
to
confused.
Zach. Yeah, Killer to Zach is possible. Zach to Walrus. I mean, they are trying to shoot Walrus, and holy smokes.
I don't know how you can shoot Walrus this game when so many res did so many things right, and he picked
Especially, like,
3.1.
if Walrus is Merlin, then I don't think 4.1 is likely to happen after all the
If
chat.
I mean, if I'm Killer to Walrus, like I app 3.1, like what is your purpose of picking that as Merlin if you don't want me to
Yep,
approve that, you know?
yep, you're fully correct. It is not Walrus. If it's Walrus, then no. Maybe it's Zach to Walrus.
It's
But I
funny
don't
they're
think
saying they
so.
want to
No,
shoot
it's not
in
Zach to
left hand
Walrus.
side.
Yeah,
They want to shoot in left hand side.
I will
And
GM
we're thinking about
Killer.
picking a
And
right
both
hand
of
side.
us are actually GMing the other person in right hand
Yeah,
side.
yeah.
You think it's Zach, I think it's Killer. So Spice.
Hey, Killer was my first guess too. I had Killer GM'd and I'm like, yeah, I see Killer to Zach.
Illumi. So why is he killing anti-baby and Killer? It's not Illumi to Killer. Holy shit, it's not. It's Obey to Killer? Well, maybe. 3.1 is very strange.
I don't think Illumi's Merlin, man. I mean,
Well,
like it's definitely possible, but it's just not a shot I'd make.
I would shoot Killer for picking 4.1. Like, 4.1 is so strange to pick. As VT, I don't think it ever happens. You see 3.1? So crazy. You see Meeman saying it's not bottom, then you see Zag saying it's not
Yeah.
M2. 4.1 deserves a lot of attention.
Yeah, I mean, if Killer is Percy to Zach, like he heard Meeman say it's not bottom, so he knows that Zach is the only edge M2, but might be kind of a risky pick to include Zach.
You know, I
We
think
might be
it's
going.
either Obey to Killer or Zach to Killer. Both work very well.
Yeah.
And then there are chances of like Zach Merlin, but I think it would be a good win for Russ with Killer just reviving 4.1. They want to shoot Illumi
This is a
or
good game for Rez, man. I feel like they're very likely to miss this shot. I don't know who's Merlin. I haven't seen a lot of resistance wins in this tournament.
Yep, there were exactly 5 resistance wins so far in 25
That's
games.
28. Yeah.
Or 28 games?
I think this is game 29, right? Or am I wrong?
Oh, yeah, that would be. No, this is game 27.
Yeah, sorry.
Exactly.
First one.
So 26 games, and we have 5 rest wins, I think. Yep, exactly 5 rest wins. Spies are at 80%, comma 8% win rate.
That's pretty crazy. Like when generally it's like a 55-45 split. Like,
Yeah.
why does it get so bad in tournaments?
So many, like this tournament, we had so many very good spy shots, very good spy plays, and on the same, uh, and we also had very weak rest plays
I was
from
gonna say the
rest
same thing.
players.
Like I feel like I've seen so many res just like spewing and letting everyone know their VT or
Yeah.
like making terrible reads or yeah.
So thanks to the combination of those two occurrences, well, I think this is why it's 80% for spies.
Yeah, I think this community needs to see the fall of the hero VT. Like most people when they
Exactly.
play Merlin, they just like stay quiet and try to guide game and maintain candidacy. And then they play VT and they're like, he's a spy and he's res and he's a spy. And it's like, you're not gonna be right about everything. You're just gonna not be Merlin.
Yes, this is fully correct. A lot of games have been lost, not because of strange things, uh, or like people not being able to solve. It was mainly because people were able to solve, but this one person actually wanted to do something, insane that would give him a lot
Yeah.
of glory if he was correct, like a great
Right.
win. You would, what the fuck? How did he solve? Type of stuff.
Right.
But it's very unlikely, and if you just follow, well, you don't get this glory. You just get like whatever. You just picked what was logical, but you win. But you have a chance
Right.
of
I
winning.
know. Everybody wants to be the hero VT that like is like, well, we have to shoot him. I don't know how he did that, how he knew that, but it's just so hard. Like, and it's such a bad strategy because even when you are Merlin, like you're very rarely gonna be like, well, I think the spies are spies.
And also, it can work in normal games because in normal games you won't have spies tryharding, like thinking so much. And this game is already spy favored. But
I think
in
the Res
those
played
games,
well.
hmm?
I think the Res played really well this game, regardless of what the team is. Like they really have 4 candidates at the end of the day.
Well, you think that Obemus the Walrus could be shot?
I don't think Obi Mr. Wallace can be Merlin, but they are considering shooting him, so it's wrong of me to say he's not a candidate.
Like 3.1. Well, if I'll say that much. If he's Maryland, then 3.1 is very good.
Yeah, yeah. If he's anything but Merlin, then 3.1 is a mistake.
Very bad.
But
That is very bad. And yeah, I would think it's Obey or Zack to killer, and 1.4 is just like you unpicked someone, so you will never be on 1.5. So I might as well tell it explicitly. And killing anti-baby and killer for some crazy reason. Oh, maybe because 1.1? He can do that because 1.1 is already killing anti-baby and killer. I can see Lumi being VT, LMAO.
I could see him being VT too. I feel like they realized that Baby picked 2.1, and but if I was VT and I saw 3.1 get picked, I'm like, oh shit,
Yeah,
they're PR, and I'm VT. I'm not gonna say shit. Like,
and I feel like he instantly approved, but then it was like he started thinking like, what are the chances? You know, the initial oh fuck, what's going on? Oh dear, has like
I
receded.
can't believe Baby. I mean, Meeman wants to shoot Walrus like just for 3.1. He's like, yeah, I just don't buy that he'd pick that. I think he's Merlin.
That would be crazy. I mean, this would be a hero shot. We were just talking about
Yeah,
hero
that's
plays.
true.
But well, I hope that this will be proven right now that it's just not worth it to be hero.
Right? Make the quick. I mean, like, I don't know what the stat shot is here.
I think the stat shot would be killer.
I agree, but I'd
The
probably
other
shoot Zach.
would be Zack,
I
then
think Killer stat
Lumi,
shot.
and then Mr.
What do you think
Waters.
about Killer's chat to Zach? Like when Zach is like, "I'm the only ad to M2," and Killer's like, "Well, that's not true, Zach. It could be we could do Pingu's or we could do Danny's." Like, do you think he's just trying to take a
Not
free on
true,
Merlin? Or...
Zach. Based on apps, it's yeah. I'm just reading this.
I just think if I'm killer Merlin and
This
Zach's
is.
saying that, I'm not saying shit. I'll just stay quiet and be like, "Yep, he is the only ad."
You know, I have a completely different impression because I read this chat like as omega bullshit. He's pretty much
Yeah,
saying that
I
I
see
want
that too.
Danis. I want Danis. And oh, maybe this or that is still possible, but I want Danis, so you know.
Yeah,
It's
so the guarantee thing.
such a bullshit chat.
Yeah, I see it. I agree.
But the one thing that I could unmerlin him for is that he said we played total of 8 minutes, 7 of them were held by baby lol. Talking to
No,
baby and like thinking about baby.
I don't think that Rez's baby at all. I think that's Spy's baby.
Really, it's Spice baby.
Yeah. I mean, it's not saying like I mean, I know that a lot of times when people stall, they get rezzed, but I think Killer's more like annoyed. Like, imagine if
Hmm.
Killer's Merlin and a spy is stalling for seven
Oh,
minutes. Would
yeah,
you
yeah, I
chat
can
that?
see
You
that.
know, you'd chat like, God, this fucking spy is taking the whole game to themselves.
Yeah, I just don't think that I don't think that he's wrestling him. Just for the record, I would just think it's unmerlining him because he might be considering that baby isn't spy doing this. But I can see the valid logic of the annoyance in his chat.
So, who do you think is Killer's Percy?
It would be Obey or Zack, and I think that we can solve because 3.3 passed. Like 3.1 could be picked because he has some strange read that Zack is assassin of picking Torres and then Morgana Meeman is unpicking his co-spy. And that's why Obey Mr. Warless is adding baby. And it could be Zack because
Oh my God, they're gonna shoot Obey, bro.
really, are they actually shooting?
Yeah, they're gonna shoot Obey.
I think it's Illumi to Walrus. 1.4, well, 1.4. I was thinking that was my first impression of 1.4, but if Kira is VT keeping M2 in the game after all of this, then hey, kudos to him. But but he's gonna lose if he's VT doing that, probably. Well, I hope then it's Zack. So
I don't know. You're kind of convincing me it's Killer. I think I might switch my guess back, and then if it's Killer Zach, I'll cry. Do you have to guess to the Tourney bot like separately in Discord?
yes, you can DM the Tourney bot. Tourney bot Avalon
I
and
have not done that yet, so I won't start now.
TM Killer. I actually did that because you reminded me. Oh, also, Pingo is thinking it's Zack as well.
In Tourney chat,
Yep.
VC. Yeah, Zach was my read, but I don't know. I feel like Killer definitely might be. I think they're way off, so we'll see.
Well. So are they shooting? He stalled on 1.5 to insta-pick. They are reading instantly into 3.1. And it could as
Yeah.
well be. Yeah, I actually think it's Percival to Killer thinking 1.1 of picking Torres and 1.3 is forcing dirt. But I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know. It does seem like something. It doesn't seem like something a VT would pick, unless he just completely didn't see 2.1, which I guess nobody talked about.
Hmm. I will consider Zach being Maryland because for some reason I stopped. Obey, you just added someone who accused him one. Yeah, it would appear, but
The thing about Zach Merlin is that he just does not have that many Percys. Like, I think it's got to be Killer. And then Killer, Percy to Zach, like, telling him that he wants to Danny's and Pingu's. I don't know.
yeah, I think Illumi could be a possible Percival, but then upping 3.1 just makes me think it's unlikely.
Well, maybe they saw Clean M2 and they were like, I can just unpercy a bit in M3. And then they're like, wait, that M2 probably floated. Let me tell everyone to reg.
But 3.1 would be 4 VTs then.
Right.
Hmm. So what about the last one? Yeah, the killer to Zack. Killer to Zack. Then he
Have I?
knows exact Zack's team. It's
Yeah.
Anti-Baby and Meeman.
And he also knows that Zach is like definitely the only ad to M2. He'll repicks M2, which is the right play. I think is what he should do.
Ah,
Picking
yeah.
4.1. Because, he knows at 4.1 if he's Percy to Zach, like, well, if this is clean, then Zach's res. Zach's the only ad, so.
I can see Killer to Zack being a very strong combo. Hmm. So I am thinking between, but Killer has two Percivals, and Zack has just one. Killer approving 3.2.
Yeah, that is true. That was actually like the main reason I switched my vote because I'm like, a killer has so many Percys. Zach like only has this one specific situation that doesn't like really work perfectly.
Hmm. Anti-Zack now. Hmm. Yeah, I think 3.3 passing is very bad for spies. That at least one spy didn't reject is what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see. I mean, between Killer and Illumi, the people off M3, that's got to be like Merlin or Percy for sure, isn't them?
Yeah, the thing is that I think that both Illumi and Abemus Borlus seem more PR than Zack, and they both are valid Percivals to Killer.
It's tough that like they didn't do a lot of things wrong. There's not a lot of mistakes in this game.
The problematic thing is this 3.3 passing because then the next pick would be Killer, and we are really thinking about Killer so much in this assassination. So yeah.
I'm still leaning Killer, man. They're thinking so hard about Illumi, it makes me want to like really consider that. But
It's actually strange because they are actually considering the fully opposite candidates of what we are considering this
I
whole
know. Well,
assassination.
like I think I recognize that it's like silly that I hate 1.4 as Merlin so much. Like I don't think everyone has that same philosophy as me, but I just like completely ruled out Illumi with Zach Rez like picking 1.4.
Okay, if just if it's Walrus, it's gonna be a crazy hero shot.
Oh yeah, dude. That's impressive.
This would be like one of the best shots.
I'll take a crazy tourney shot, and I would never shoot Walrus here.
It's not known technically in Maryland. Well, alright.
Hey, they mentioned me. I don't know why they're picking at me, but
Well, maybe because you said that he's not Merlin.
that's true. They are picking on me if they shoot Obey and they're right.
Zack has just like no real Percy. Killer. How did they kill? Like, I mean, if they are actually correct that Killer isn't Percival to Zack, then just shoot Killer and win. I don't think. I assume you know how Obey plays. Maybe that's the case. I have no idea. Oh, okay. Never mind. I'm probably shooting Illumi. Oh yes, he did say something like that. Oh, I completely forgot about that. Do you remember?
Yeah,
And
I know that shot. I was thinking about it a bit, but I don't
yeah,
know. Does Merlin say it?
Look, Walrus, I think you're right, but I'm not tapping this. I
I
don't
can give
know how I
Walrus a
feel
killer.
about Oh Baby Hammer. Because Killer rejected 3.1 and he's Percival.
Can you explain to me why they're not considering killer?
Yeah, well, I'm actually curious myself. Let's read the assassination chat. So, I want to shoot Mr. Walrus. I'm actually just gonna press Ctrl F and type Killer so I can see. Do they actually mention him? They say, Killer, why the fuck you floating? And they Killer would be Lumi's Percy. Would wait. They didn't say any reason for him to be not Merlin. They are only talking about him in terms of being Percival. If Killer is Percy to Lumi, Killer something something, well, I can tell that Killer usually asks me to shut the fuck up in games. Well, you didn't say anything, baby. Why would he ask you to shut the fuck up? Yeah, he didn't say anything. Like, he said, what? Could be. This is the only thing that he said. And then Pingu's invention. He sent 2 messages during assassination, and Baby's saying that Killer usually tells me to shut the fuck up. And he did in this game. And I think like
Yeah, Killer didn't have much chat, to be honest.
like this is a little bit of ridiculous reason to unmerlin Killer. So I think this is the reason why Killer got unmerlin by spies. Because he usually tells Baby to shut the fuck up, but he didn't this time. But Baby had 2 messages. Entire game. That would be crazy bullying if you'd actually say that.
Do you
Okay.
think? I know we kind of talked about this a little bit, but is Illumi a possible Percival to Zach? I know that they approved 3.1 and then asked for rejects after, but I could kind of see 1.4 if Meeman is a Merlin question mark, picking a Merlin question mark.
Yeah, that was exactly the reason I was considering Lumi to Zack on crack. I think 4.1 is strange. If Killer is VT, just this. And then upping 3.1. So?
Yeah,
Um,
everything around M2 was so strange this game.
oh, it was
Yeah,
Illumi.
it was Zach to Illumi. They had it.
Wow. And no one knew Merlin. Wow. It was
Yeah,
Killer VT. So 1.4 was Merlin actually.
yeah.
And it was, I think, yeah, it was forcing Zach on this crazy logic. Team Hatch is doing something that he shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I know it's like unreasonable to rule them out for that 1.4, but it's just I would never pick that as Merlin. So
Hey, this is actually a 6th rest win.
let's go.
That's good.
We were
That's really
here.
cool. Yep.
I was here.
So thank you guys for watching. Thanks to Crouton for featuring. And
Thanks for having me,
see you
Pat.
in the next game.
Adios.